What's up, Fantasy World? Welcome back to Fantasy Lutfi, and this is Gameweek 26 preview. In this video, I'll be running through the fixtures of Gameweek 26 alongside with my prediction, team selections, and also captaincy choices. Let's start off first with the fixtures. First up, we have Sunderland taking on Manchester United at the Stadium of Light. Sunderland look to get a win because they are in the relegation zone right now, second from the bottom of the table with only 20 points. Manchester United, on the other hand, looking to get the 3 points to chase Manchester City and the 4th Champions League spot. So lots riding on both teams, but I have Manchester United to get the 3 points because they have been playing better football, although they have not been scoring too many goals. Next up, we have Stoke visiting Bournemouth. Both teams not on great form. Stoke conceding 3 goals last weekend against Everton by half-time. And so Stoke, they need to start winning again. They have the potential to do so. They just need the proper execution. So for this match, I have Stoke getting the 3 points. Crystal Palace and Watford. Palace hasn't been too good lately. Their defense has been really terrible, and I think that Watford can capitalize on that weakness. Odin Igalo and Troy Deeney would inspire Watford to get the win here. Next up, we have Everton and West Bromwich Albion. Everton coming off that 3-0 win against Stoke, where Romelu Lukaku scored. Although it was via the penalty, I think that would jumpstart his goal scoring again. So Everton getting the 3 points here. Next up, we have Norwich and West Ham. West Ham looking really strong as of late, winning games, although not being able to win some draws here and there. But I think that they will be boosted by their 2-1 win in the FA Cup against Liverpool last night. And so I have West Ham, Dimitri Payet and company to get the 3 points out of Norwich. Next up, we have Swansea and Southampton. Pretty hard to call because Swansea has been strong as of late. Southampton, on the other hand, keeping lots of clean sheet ever since the return of Foster. So I have Southampton to keep a clean sheet again and get the better of Swansea. Next up, Chelsea and Newcastle. Chelsea coming off that 1-1 draw against Manchester United at home, where Diego Costa grabbed a late goal to salvage a point for the home team. And so I think that Chelsea would be able to win because they are really strong and they would just overpower Newcastle. Next up, the biggest match of the weekend probably, Arsenal taking on Leicester at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal look to close up the gap between themselves and Leicester, but I think that Leicester are just too strong for them. Their defense is really tight. As we saw last week against City, they only allowed 1 goal and scored 3. Riyad Mahrez would be key to Leicester's win this weekend, and also hopefully Jamie Vardy would be scoring again. So Leicester getting the win at the Emirates. Next up, Aston Villa and Liverpool. Liverpool would really love the 3 points because they have been on horrible form. So I think that playing against the bottom of the table team, Aston Villa, rock bottom, I think that they will be getting the 3 points. Lastly, a big game too, Manchester City and Spurs. Is Spurs looking to capitalize on City's defeat last week against Leicester and saw them now in the second of the table. City, on the other hand, would want to close the gap between the top 3 teams, and so they would be trying to get the win here. Personally, for me, I have Spurs getting the 3 points here because they have been in good form lately, scoring more goals, creating more chances, playing better football. But I still think that Aguero would be able to score maybe 1 goal. But then again, remember, Toby Alderweireld and Tottenham's defense are really good. Let's move on now to my team and who I will be choosing ahead of Game Week 26. it'd probably be slightly different than last week's team, because last week I actually played West Houlihan and it really did backfire on me. Houlihan just amounted to 1 point and I only got 65 points last week. So in goal, I have Hirelo Gomes, because I trust that Crystal Palace will not be able to score against Watford. So he has been on great form, and I decide to go with him instead of Butland. In defense, I have actually a headache this week because Toby Alderweireld is playing Manchester City. Philip Walshite, I have him because they're playing against Bournemouth. I don't expect Bournemouth to score too many goals. And next up, I have Bellerin, who is playing against Leicester. So I'm not too sure who I'll be playing because Alderweireld is against City and Bellerin is against Leicester. I'm benching Monreal and Dan because I think Watford would be scoring more than 2 goals maybe, and I can't bank on 2 Arsenal players who are playing against Leicester. So I have to bench one of them. I think I'm choosing Bellerin because Bellerin has been playing better lately. I've watched Arsenal's games against Bournemouth last week and he was the more attacking player of the 2 fullbacks. So as of now, these are my 3 defenders. Next up, let's move on to my midfielders. We have Dimitri Payet against Norwich. I expect him to really start making more chances and hoping that his teammates can convert the chances that he has created for them. So hopefully more points for him. He only just scored 2 points for me last week. Not so good, but I still trust him. Riyad Mahrez, on the other hand, 14 points against City last week. It was a pity I did not captain him. And so against Arsenal, he will surely be in my team, and I put him as my vice-captain. Roberto Firmino, on the other hand, against Villa, I expect him to really do something, score a goal, get an assist, and therefore he is my captain. He got 13 points last week, and I think that he will be able to do so again against Villa. My last midfielder would be Ross Barkley against West Bromwich Albion. I think that he'll be able to create some chances for Lukaku and probably for himself. Hopefully he scores a goal. My strike force this week, Harry Kane, Ighalo, and Sergio Aguero. I'm hoping Harry Kane scores. Also, Ighalo, I think that he would be scoring against Crystal Palace. I'm really confident of that. And so he is in my team once again. Last but not least, Sergio Aguero against Tottenham. I think that he would also score. So I'm putting Kane and Aguero in because I think one of them would surely score. So that's my team for this week, and I hope that they will bring lots of points for me. Well, some players to take note and possibly bring into your team. Do remember that Game Week 30 is close by and lots of teams will not be playing in Game Week 30. So your transfers in would probably be from teams like Leicester, Southampton, Stoke, and Newcastle. This is because in Game Week 30, they would be playing. Confirm. And so you want to maximize your chances of getting more points in Game Week 30. Do bear in mind that I would update you guys on who I will be selecting ahead of Game Week 30 and also who I'll be bringing in for this game week. It would probably be a Southampton or Leicester player as of now. I actually want to bring in Jamie Vardy, but I actually can't do so because I have not enough cash. As you can see, it's a negative 0.8 million pounds. So I can't bring in Jamie Vardy, but I would probably bring in Christian Fuchs. But I'm not too sure who I would take out. I'm either sacrificing Scott Dan or one of the Arsenal defenders because I want to keep Philip Walshite because he is from Stoke and probably will be playing against Southampton on Game Week 30. Also, just to let you guys know, I'll be coming up with a video on how to plan for Game Week 30. I'll be telling you who to bring in from the 4 teams that I have mentioned that will be surely be playing on Game Week 30. And do look out for that, because that is really important. You want to maximize your points on Game Week 30 and not get lots of players with 0 points. So do stay tuned for that. Do subscribe to me, because I would be bringing that to you, and also lots of preview review in my channel. So to end off this video, I would be settling with probably bringing in Christian Fuchs for Scott Dan. Let's take a look at Fuchs. See, because I think that Lister is on some good form, and also I think that they would be able to keep clean sheets after the Arsenal game, because against Arsenal, after Arsenal, they would be having a good run of fixtures. As you can see, if I bring in Christian Fuchs, I had 1.6 million pounds left to probably strengthen up my attack soon after next week. So that's all for my Game Week 26 preview. Do press the thumbs up button if you like this video. Do comment in your comments and feedback in the comment section below. I would really appreciate your feedback. And stay tuned for my Game Week 30 plans and also Game Week 27 preview. There will be a short update on Game Week 26 before I finalize my team, my transfer and captaincy. So do stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll check you guys with you soon.